Hey guys, it's Julia again. Welcome to my 5th vlog, and today I'm going to be talking a bit about the ethics of the Ad Nauseam browser extension and my overall experience using it. So let's get started. Okay, so y'all are probably wondering, what is Ad Nauseam? And according to this week's reading, an open source browser extension that leverages obfuscation to frustrate tracking by online browsers. Now, in other words, this site basically keeps track of every ad that you come across and compiles it into what is called an ad vault. And the ad vault, you can view a total number of 3 things. So the first thing is you can view the total number of ads that you have clicked on. And number 2, you can see how many ads have been picked up on and collected by Ad Nauseam. And number 3, you can see the total estimated cost of all of the ads that you have picked up on while scrolling through your normal search engines. So I also forgot to mention that on the left-hand side of the ad vault on Ad Nauseam, you can also easily view the top ad networks that you used and the top sites that you visited to compile these ads. So I now want to go into some of the overall ethics of Ad Nauseam based on what I read. And so by hiding or blocking ads, quote, Ad Nauseam seeks to shield users from inexorable and inappropriate probes of surfaces and third parties. So hence it works to protect web surfers from surveillance tracking via advertisers and corporations, government, and hackers, and anything else that kind of, puts a threat to users' privacy. So online surveillance companies contribute to the creation of valuable but highly problematic profiles that fuel major data industries. And it can be any big, online company like Google or Apple, YouTube, with potentially harmful effects on those who use them. So Ad Nauseam pretty much disrupts this process, and therefore, the authors say that Ad Nauseam is, quote, morally defensible. Now, there's an ongoing question that the authors raise in the reading. Does Ad Nauseam and other ad blockers harm the web's economy? Now, their answer is, even if, it does seem like that they are, it does seem like that the benefits outweigh the cost. And, the benefit is helping customers steer clear of inappropriate profiling and, getting their private information stolen. So in the novel Obfuscation, this really interesting quote said by Gary Marks that I thought was really interesting. And he said that, quote, to use obfuscation because it works, or even because it is the only approach that works, isn't enough. And this is basically because it needs to be proven that obfuscation is morally acceptable in the situation that it's in. So in other words, obfuscation can be an ethical way to protect users' privacies, but it must be proven legitimate, and this is both ethically and politically. There was another point that was raised by the authors. Quote, it is nearly impossible to avoid barges of dishonesty when the aim of obfuscation is to mislead and misdirect. But what I'm thinking is, isn't obfuscation technically ethical if the main goal of it is to protect users' privacy from, the surveillance data collection of third-party trackers? I later learned that it all kind of depends. And the authors quote that obfuscation presents a means of resisting coercion, exploitation, or threat, ends that might generally legitimize acts of dishonesty. We might say, therefore, that whether obfuscation, like lying, is morally defensible depends on the legitimacy of its ends. So, in other words, Ad Nauseam and other, browsers are morally defensible, but it depends on, what it's hiding, and also if hiding that information is ultimately benefiting someone else or something. So kind of going back to my overall experience using the Ad Nauseam web browser, I came across a lot more ads than I thought while surfing the web, on a daily basis. And I just thought that the only ads that I came across were the ones that I could visibly see, but it's also apparent that there are ads that I can't see, and that definitely adds up. Based on my screenshots, you can see how many ads quickly add up over time.